Hi everybody, it's Travis, Pagan Scholar. Today we are going to be discussing another topic of the ABCs of Paganism. Today's letter is brought to you by the letter B, and today we are going to be discussing belief. Yes, those 6 little letters have been plaguing my existence for the past couple of weeks. They are fraught with ambiguity. They are filled with the potential of increasing complexity on and on and on, and they have made my life a living hell when I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to go about this video. Belief is actually a very analytical school of philosophy. It's the philosophy of mind, it's epistemology, how do we know what we know? And while I appreciate and entertain those questions, and I'm aware of those questions, I stuck more towards questions concerning authenticity, identity, being, things like that. If you don't know anything about analytic philosophy basically takes the world and turns it into a math problem. It's really not my style of discourse. So whenever I looked up belief in all of my go-to resources, I got a lot of analytic philosophers, so I've had to do some work. This video is unpolished, this video is not as succinct as I would like for it to be, but that's the beauty of philosophy. It's a dialogue, it's a dialectic. It continues to evolve and grow as more and more people engage in a conversation. So let's start that conversation. So basically, whenever we boil belief down away from faith, away from a belief in God, a belief in the world around us, if we take belief and strip it down to its most bare essential things, it is a propositional attitude. What is a propositional attitude? Well, remember how I said analytic philosophy likes to turn everything into an equation? We have the equation of SAP. Subject, attitude, that proposition. I, the subject, you, the subject, Mary, the subject of a sentence, believes, hopes, fears, desires, yearns for, all these different attitudes, that proposition. The Patriots will win. God exists. There is milk in the fridge. Basically, belief is a mode of being in your head, of the mind engaging with the rest of the world about certain propositions. And a proposition is merely a linguistic assertion that X is the case. So belief can go all the way, like I said, from the lofty theological concepts of does God exist all the way down to is there still milk in my fridge. Belief then it's more than a paradigm, it's a larger umbrella than that. Belief is sort of one of the nuts and bolts of the paradigm in which we navigate the world. I have a belief that there is milk in my fridge, so therefore I'm not going to go to the store to buy more milk when I believe there is still milk in my fridge. Likewise, if I believe that the earth is like a pit stop on the way to eternal salvation, why would I need to preserve it? Why would I need to worry about burning fossil fuels or the climate changing when it's just like rapture time is any minute now? Belief is one of the things that, it's one of the fundamental building blocks of thought, but there's a bunch of different kinds of propositional attitudes that shape our paradigms in the way that we engage with the world. So like I said before, there are different kinds of attitudes, there are different kinds of propositional attitudes. Belief is only one amongst many. We can subject attitude proposition, so I believe in something, I hope something, I fear something, I doubt something. So there's different kinds of propositional attitudes, and what's really unique amongst bringing it back to contemporary paganism, by the way, what's unique about belief in a contemporary pagan sense is, in praxis, we usually conflate belief with desire. So hear me out on this. What I am going to say as a generality, as a blanket statement, is a lot of people who are pagan believe that if you have enough intention about something, then it will manifest, that we can sort of believe our way into being. We can manifest things. I've already committed the conflation that I'm trying to talk about. So belief is not the same thing as desire. And granted, some people will split hairs that desire is not the same thing as intention or intending, as manifesting, but I don't believe that manifestation or manifesting is a behavioral or as a propositional attitude. I'm just throwing that out the window. I'm just discarding that as part of the conversation. But what I am saying is that whenever we dwell upon intention, whenever we really focus on manifesting this specific type of energy in our lives, we are conflating belief with desire. We are conflating belief with hope. So I would like to put forth the idea that hope is a desire for what could be, but that there is an element of uncertainty in it, whereas belief deals in the realm of certainty, or at least assumed certainty. It's really kind of, there is a distinction that needs to be made, because you can have faith in something, you can have hope in something, but faith and hope are not tools of certainty, whereas belief, I believe that there is milk in my fridge that has parlance, that has commerce with certainty. We can be incorrect in our beliefs, absolutely, but we cannot be incorrect in our hopes or in our faiths, because faith and hope aren't concerned with being correct, they're concerned with what they desire to be the case. Whereas belief, that attitude of being open to falsifiability is not on the table. This also gets into other questions of potential falsifiability. This was a really big, I think Karl Popper brought it up, but I'm not sure. If something is not potentially falsifiable, then it's not really a scientific question. It's not a question kind of worthy or that has the potential to stand up to critical examination. If something cannot be proven wrong, then it's not really a question that we can critically entertain. And that's a very loaded statement. That's a very heavy statement, and kind of diving board into other discussions like the existence of God, or if your science is a pseudoscience or not. But that's not what we're going to talk about right now. I'm trying to keep it as focused on belief as possible, but as you can see, it's rife with all of this different tangential problems and caveats and front-loading, and it's very, very difficult to talk about. I have spent many brunches trying to figure out how to succinctly make this video, and instead I decided I would just ramble on about it for 10-15 minutes and cut out all the unnecessary things. I do think, though, that it is very important that we are at least aware of the potential of belief being a loaded gun in a theological conversation, because whenever we do have these conversations with other people, we need to be aware of the terms that we're using. We need to be aware of the fact that if we have a very strong feeling about something, if we have a conviction about something, that is not the same thing as belief. Then again, as I say that, belief is in the realm of certainty, and conviction implies certainty, but I still feel like faith and belief, hope and belief, conviction, intention, desire, all of these sort of different propositional attitudes and modes of being in the world and constructing your paradigm about the world that you're in, they all deserve a lot of attention and deep thinking, and sometimes it's a labyrinth and you don't actually find your way out of it, but it's still important that you go down those paths anyways, so you can have a more critically examined and a more thoroughly critically examined praxis of your beliefs, of the way that you engage with the world around you. And when people ask you about it, it's more than just a feeling, it's more than just an opinion, it's a belief. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really annoyed with myself that this is so kind of open-ended and vague, but this is a discourse, this is a conversation, so please comment below on your ideas, what you critically break down belief to mean, to be. I would love to read your thoughts on the matter. I'm still trying to cultivate and sort of solidify, crystallize my understanding of what belief is. So I really look forward to your comments. So a like is appreciated, a subscription even more so, and as always, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.